Hello ladies and gentlemen, it looks like we'll be bringing you into game 2 of UMASS Amherst versus Pitt. I will not spoil who won, but it was a very good game last game, featuring a very well played Invoker and a little bit of a nice team fight going off on both teams, I feel like. I gotta just to pure offline. Or busy, I think busy blocks it. Sorry, I'm not that good at this. Anyway, sorry, I just looks like Pitt will ban out the Darkseer first, and UMass Amherst will be banning out the Invoker. I'll admit, I didn't think Invoker could be as potent as he used to be, since that base damage nerf just hurts his laning so much that it's really hard for him to pull out of the laning phase and still make a difference in the mid game. But once you start actually getting some momentum through a couple of ganks, couple of kills, and definitely the team fight, if you can survive through a team fight, just makes a lot of difference. And Invoker obviously has so many spells that disrupt the team fight so well. Looks like Pitt will ban out a TA as well. And UMass will ban out the Tidehunter. Obviously, Tidehunter is just such a scary pick. You don't even have to play him remotely well, as long as you can just get a Ravage going, and it will just ruin a team fight for you. Plus, he's really good at working as well, I won't say the famous Destiny quote, because that's pretty mean, but he attracts a certain kind of individual to attack him when he's just so tanky that he won't die ever, especially with Kraken Shell, since it only helps him if you keep focusing him while he's stunned, so he can pop Kraken Shell and get his stun off. So it looks like Rubik is the first pick out of UMass Amherst, followed by a Bat Rider and THD by Pitt. Pretty standard picks right now. I expect the Bat to go mid here with the THD, because the THD is just such a strong supporting hero for a tri-lane that you don't need the Bat for the offlane. Although Bat Jungle is a really fun build. You get a lot of levels out of that. A lot of farm, and it frees up a lane for somebody else. And like I was trying to say last game, one of the benefits is for the jungle bat that if you're not getting anything in the off lane and they're not pushing the off lane, just go ahead and jungle. You get farm in the jungle, you get experience in the jungle, and you won't lose anything by not being in the lane, since the enemy heroes in that lane are just sitting there anyway. And you can always TP back if you really need to throw down Firefly to stop the push, I should say. And since Bat is a hero who really needs that level 6 early, if you're not getting that farm in lane, you really need to go to the jungle. So it looks like a Quap and an Undying are picked up. Looks like this is a really heavy team fight build for Dogfucker Esports, which I don't want to keep saying, but I keep saying anyway, for UMass Amherst, because obviously Quap is great in a team fight, especially against relatively, I mean, I'm hesitant to call these two heroes, Bat Rider and Jakiro, squishy heroes, since they have such great strength gains and they build really tanky anyway, but if you can catch them out early enough with the Scream of Pain and a Sonic Wave, they just pop instantly. We do see a Furion picked out. Furion's not as popular for an early pick anymore, but it makes sense. He's just such a good global pusher, and since you do see that Undying is perfect for an early team fight in a tri-lane, you want to have a Prophet available to port into the tri-lane and assist, if that's how these two teams run it. Because if you say have a Prophet in the off lane and a safe lane tri-lane, you can instantly add that fourth hero to the tri-lane when Prophet ports in, and it can really turn the tides of the battle in some fights. Especially if you can sprout one hero in a bad position and focus on the other two. Looks like, well, we have a lot of hard carries being banned out. Pitt bans out AM and Luna. Don't want this to go too late, I feel like. And they don't want pushers. That's another thing people don't think about. AM is a really strong pusher, since Battle Fury just lets him go into the lane and push as far as he wants, and then blink out whenever he wants to if he smells a gank coming. And obviously Luna with Bouncing Blades just demolishes creep waves. So you don't want to have a pusher when you have Prophet on your team, since you force the other team to either commit to the Prophet or or lose the base race, I should say, because if you have a Prophet pushing your racks, you don't have a hero like AM who can push one lane while the other 4 heroes push the other lane. And there you have a 2-to-1 trade on racks, for example. Just very vague example. And we do see CK banned out. He's a really strong hero, just punishes heroes so strongly if you aren't paying attention, since his reality rift range is just so long, and if he catches you, it's pretty much a guaranteed kill even without Phantasm, since his crits just hit so hard. And again, Bounty Hunter banned out, like I said last game. He's just such a strong hero for helping your team get the gold advantage it needs and keeping the enemy heroes down through all his ganks. So I expect to see Pitt's probably going to just ban the support, since UMass Amherst doesn't seem to have a support hero right now. Rubik can play support, but I don't think he's going to be playing support this game. I would like to see Rubik played mid and a Quap in the offlane with a safe lane tri-lane, or a Quap safe lane and an offensive tri-lane, but it depends on the last 2 picks. I think Pitt's going to try and get another good team fight hero, and then maybe another strong carry. Yeah, this is indicative of a tri-lane. Sven's perfect in a tri-lane, especially with Undying. It's really hard to take down both heroes alone, but they also conversely do so much damage. And Sven's stun is just obviously so powerful early game. And with his buffs, to cleave damage and to God Strength, he hits so hard that he can compete as a hard carry against anybody in the game. Good idea by Pitt. They pick up Coddle to stop this push and to disrupt the tri-lane out of UMass Amherst, which obviously Leshrac kind of foretells that you would add to that tri-lane. Again, good tri-lane hero, and if you get kills in that tri-lane, his Edict will just let you melt down tower so easily right after. But again, Coddle is such a great pick because A, he stops the counter push, B, he does a lot of damage just on wave if you can catch 3 heroes in it in a tri-lane, and with the Nature's Prophet, very important. Since, like I was saying earlier, he adds that tri-lane, he goes really well with Coddle if A, he can get his ultimate off, or B, he just gets into the fight because he can port behind heroes as they're running away after they were damaged by Coddle's wave. So Prophet can just pick off some heroes who are trying to limp back to base after taking the Coddle waves to the face. I'm not so good at predicting whether tri-lane's offensive or defensive, but I would expect to see UMass Amherst put an offensive tri-lane here. They have really aggressive heroes. And THD is a really good defensive hero. Yeah, Dragon Knight picked up. It's a really good pick, since A, the splash from his dragon form will really fuck up the zombies made by Undying, but also he has a lot of armor to deal with that Sven, since he's a naturally tanky hero, since Dragon Blood gives him so much armor. So, going into the players right now, we see UMass Amherst Ralph is going to be on the Undying. Chinchillax will be playing the Sven, generally plays the 1 carry role. No Brainer will be playing the Rubik. Looks like he will be going to support role, and they will probably be putting the Quap mid. Quap does have the little courier. Quap will be going mid with double mantles, and that will be played by Selena, and Lord Gandhi of India will be on the Leshrac. Mid will be, for Pitt, will be Mohala on the Bat Rider. G will be playing the Coddle on the top lane and the tri-lane with free real estate on the THD and Dire Light on the Dragon Knight with an off lane Nature's Prophet. So yeah, this is how I thought it was going to go. You put Nature's Prophet in the off lane, he can port up top, help up the tri-lane, and I like Coddle for the safe lane, since you can put a Coddle right here and he can just spam his wave out over the rest of the heroes. So it'll be interesting to see if he does that. Looks like they will be putting Undying solo safe lane, Quap mid, and then put the offensive tri-lane. With Lesh, Rubik, and Sven. Yeah, I couldn't get that one. Looks like G is trying to get, yeah, good ward. He's able to just see the entire jungle. I would have liked to see that ward here, to be honest, because what this ward does is it not only sees the lane and any heroes in the lane, it sees the heroes going into the jungle. So you don't need this ward in the jungle, since if you have this ward here, you'll see them going into the jungle anyway, and you'll know they're in here, which means it's a danger zone. Looks like game will be starting off soon. Oh no, looks like interesting. Looks like they're gonna solo the Coddle safe lane. Now see, that's a nice pickup. They saw the tri-lane up top and rotated the 2 heroes bot, since they know these 2 heroes should be able to be a solo Dirge, and it allows the Prophet to go jungle, getting a lot of farm up for himself, and he'll just be contributing later a lot better than if he was in that off lane. Although, one of the things is Prophet, well, Coddle can do well in this lane, I just want to say, because he can keep the equilibrium, yeah, with his wave. and get a little bit of farm out of it. But the thing about Prophet is, even if he went in the off lane, he could just farm the jungle and then port bot whenever they were pushing, which is really good for him. But he can do the same top, since they do have a Leshrac. And even though Coddle is able to spam wave, I feel like they might be able to get a good push going with Sven's stun and cleave, Rubik's Fade Bolt, and Leshrac's stun and Edict and Lightning. They should be able to push creep waves really easily. Looks like they do want to try and pick up this Coddle, but he's playing very far back, very smart. Coddle, I feel conflicted about this because I don't feel like he should play too aggressive since he knows there's a really aggressive tri-lane that he can't get any farm. But on the other hand, Coddle needs at least level 2 so he can keep spamming waves since he does need Shock or Magic in order to support the wave. We do see that the Dirge is getting a lot less farm bot, and it looks like the DK is getting a decent amount. THD is able to... He's playing a little far back. I would like to see him harassing a little bit more on the Dirge, excuse me. But Dirge is obviously a very tanky hero, so it's hard to do. Looks like this tri-lane is trying to find the Coddle. They do see with this ward, just show the ward vision. They do see the Prop in the jungle, and they know that any time that the Rubik and Lesh want to go and try and gank him, they can pretty much do so. It's not that hard to gank Prophet, especially when he has level 1 teleport, since he can't sprout himself and teleport out. I'd like to see bot play a little bit more aggressive, since they know Dirge is almost out of mana. Yeah, they can play a lot more aggressive, I feel like. Although it's good, because this... the DK is getting a lot of farm, and he's matching the Sven, though. The Sven is getting free farm since Coddle can't even get close to the wave. Looks like this Lesh is tanking a lot of damage. I'm not sure what he's trying to do, but this is a huge mistake. If Coddle gets a couple waves off, he can just kill this Lesh right outright. But like I was saying, he doesn't have his levels and chakras, so he can't get support his spamming out Illuminate, I should say. Looks like mid lane, Bat is winning a little bit over the Quap. Bat's really good against Quap, since she's really relying on movement, and since Sticky Napalm just slows her down so much on her turn rate, especially for Blink, it's really hard to blink away since she has to turn all the way around and go through her Blink animation. And this Bat's doing a good job keeping up the Napalm. He can dive her pretty easily, to be honest, if he wants to. With 9 stacks, he's going to be doing so much damage. Look at that. Look how much damage, 100 damage per hit with 9 stacks of Napalm on him. So we do see right now, it looks like the Dire is getting a better hand of this. Bat's obviously winning mid. The Stool lane is getting a better end of the stick against the Undying. And obviously Prophet's getting the jungle farm. Looks like G is able to get level 2. Yeah, nice dodge of the Leshrac stun. Able to waste a lot of mana. As we can see, there's not a lot of mana regen in this lane. Actually, they're completely out of mana regen in this lane. So... And since Coddle, obviously, yeah, with Chakra Magic has an unlimited amount of mana, it's really beneficial for him to make the other team waste as much mana as possible. Looks like Bat does get his bottle, and we'll be able to get this rune, and has boots on the way. Meanwhile, the Quab is really hurting here. She does get her magic stick, but unfortunately, she goes straight from Magic Wand, doesn't have her bottle, not really good. She's going to be struggling for a long time against this Bat. Although now that Bat has gone for rune, she does have a little bit of space to pick up some farm. Excuse me, I forgot to zoom out a little bit more. Looks like Prophet. Oh, Prophet. Holla holla gadala. He's going for his Midas. I can't hate it because they are getting such an advantage in the lanes right now that this Prophet can afford to farm for a long time since they don't need the gank. And Midas is just so good on Prophet to... just get his levels up, and he can get the ridiculous amounts of farm that we know him for. So I want to just point out, this is a lot better by the carries of this game. They're getting a lot better farm. You see 27 and 26 farm. Fairly even for both the #1 carries, but it's just better that they're farming more effectively than last game. It was a really low farm game. Interesting, the DK seems to be leveling Dual Breath over Dragon's Blood. I don't know how I feel about that. Obviously, it's a really good nuke, and it helps to push the creeps really fast, but I just feel like the tankiness you get out of Dragon's Blood, once you come out at level, I think level... It's about level 8, I feel like you get max Dragon's Blood if you go 1-1-1-1, and then just max Dragon's Blood. I'm not going to do the math right now, because I'm trying to think. But you come out with 12 armor at level 9, it's pretty hard to kill you. Although the Dire team is mostly, or excuse me, the Radiant team is mostly spell damage right now, with the exception of Sven. So once they get an early pipe up, maybe on the DK, maybe on the bat, since both heroes like the pull really tanky, that pipe's gonna be really good. Sorry, I kept saying that for some reason. Excuse me, a little tired. Prophet's getting pretty close to his Midas. Kyle's getting a much better start now that he's got 2 levels of Chakra, can just spam out wave all day. And he does put down a fresh ward, so he's able to see any movement into the jungle. That looks like Prophet DC, might need to pause. Looks like Dirge is trying to go in on this. I don't know what he can do. He can't really get a kill here, especially since he's so low mana and does waste the zombie house. We just see a deep C on the Prophet. Let me just look at the items real quick. See? Looks like no items for Leshrac. He's really getting the shaft of this for the farm. Rubik's at least trying to soak some levels with the Sven. Oh, sorry, put the map up. And it's good. I like that. I feel like Rubik can probably get away with levels since Lesh needs to get level 8 really quickly to get Max Edict and Stun. But Rubik, obviously, level 6 is good for him too. So it's kind of conflicted. Obviously, one hero is going to get the shaft of the farm, or the experience, and in this case it's Leshrac. So it looks like Dirge went for a Quelling Blade. Really interesting. I guess it's just because he knew it was safe lane. But he has such high base damage anyway, and with Decay he gets more damage as he steals from 2 heroes, and obviously since these heroes hang around each other, he's able to get a double Decay off. So his last team power just gets pretty powerful. I don't think he needs the Quelling Blade. DC's treads on the Sven, and DK has his treads, Prophet's going his Midas, and Bat's got his normal progression. So nothing really exciting. As we can just see from the early farm though, Sven is winning on the farm war, but with the next 3 heroes being Dire heroes, they're definitely winning out overall. Yeah, as we can see here, 500 gold advantage. Although Radiant, I guess it's just because, oh, sorry, I missed that. Prophet does port in. I did not notice because he had, the Dirge did overextend a lot, and it looks like the Bat was able to gank bot in the meantime with the double damage. But since the Dirge had used all his spells and the zombie house to try and get a kill on the DK, they were able to just port in. And they might try and take a tower out of this. I like that a lot. With a Basilius on Prophet and with his Drans, it's just really easy to get a tower. Looks like they're going to try and dive on the Coddle. They should be able to get him, yeah, double stun. They did overlap a little, but they should be able to get out of here okay. And Sven still has Salve. So good trade by them. They lose the Dirge, but they can easily get that Coddle. And that Coddle's got to be even more careful than he was before, since they know they can dive him now. Good play by the Prophet. He's cutting off the creep wave so that they just get as much time on the tower as possible. But in the meantime, there's going to be a push top, and Coddle wave isn't able to take up the reinforcing creep wave. I'd like to see DK get the last hit on the tower, but no. It's not bad to let him split it by that, because all the heroes get even amounts of gold, but obviously you want your carry to have as much farm as possible. Warcry is popped by the Radiant, but they shouldn't be able to catch this, especially with TP support, they shouldn't be able to catch the Coddle, yeah. And they're not able to get this tower. Looks like the Bat did come in, and they're also getting the DK, but the DK doesn't have a lot of mana. Coddle Blast comes out, ooh, completely whiffs, the Flame Break pushed them out of the way. But there is a miss on Leshrac stun, and it looks like Sven will go down easily. Rubik goes down the backside as well, and Lesh is just so level, he's going to die easily. Sven lived a little longer than I expected. But yeah, 3 kills. They overextended a lot to try and get that Coddle, and they paid for it. We do see a Midas on the Prophet. Use the Midas. Why are you running? I don't know why he's running, but anyway. And they actually, off of this, they might be able to get a tier 1 tower top as well, since they do have DK's Breath. Yeah, with Shocker Magic, they'll be able to push towers really easily. Looks like Sven is coming top. I'd like to see some rotation from the Quap, since she's done nothing all game so far. And the Dirge is really important in holding the tower, but he doesn't have a port either. So unfortunate for him. Looks like they're going to lose this tier 1 tower, unless they do something drastically to back off. Looks like Quap is going to go check the room, but it's not there. So it's Bath did get it. Excuse me. Just a little tired right now. Looks like Sven is able to get the stun on DK, but double stun. Lesh is stacking the stuns again. A little poor communication, and I think that DK should be able to get out of here if they're able to stun the Sven one more time. Looks like they are able to. No, DK will live, and Prophet porting in will be able to get the Sven very easily. Oh no, Quap ult, nice Quap ult, and Scream is able to catch off the DK. Might be able to turn the Sven around. Nice gank by her. Prophet does get the Sven in the backside, but they should be able to get the THD at least. And oh, she should have waited on that Scream. Lasso is going to go off from the bat, and here comes Ralph. Dirge is porting up from the bot lane, and with Zombie House, should be able to get this bat pretty easily. Yeah, good idea. Quap goes after the Bat Rider while the Dirge is able to get to the Prophet, who does not have any mana to get out of here, and should be an easy kill. So nice rotation. That Quap did really clutch timing. Looks like Dirge will be going down here. Yeah, DK stun and in tower range. So not as worth it, but nice that he got a kill and rotated up. It was really poor decision though that he didn't have a TP, since he could have affected that fight a lot more after Quap came in. But I thought they were going to be able to turn that fight easily. For the dire side, but Quap came in at the right time, able to get a nice Sonic Wave and a good Scream to catch that DK and 2 heroes on the backside. So looks like 5 to 6 of the kill lead, and again, farm's pretty even right now. Everybody's farming pretty well. I think obviously Sven's doing the best. It'll be interesting to see what item he goes for. Unfortunately, he didn't get anything before he died, and did incur a gold loss. Looking at the items real quick again. I'm really sorry about yawning. I'm going to try and wake up right now. Looks like Leshrac has his boots finally. Sven is going for drums since he has a bracer on the chicken. Not sure I like that. I just don't. He can feel like he benefits from BKB more. He does enough damage. He has enough mobility with Warcry as it is, that once you get BKB, you just do enough damage that all you need to do is survive. And with all the stuns, sprouts, and mana leaks, Prophet sprouts, Bat Lasso, although Bat Lasso does go through BKB, THG Sun, he needs that BKB pretty badly. Looks like Dirge is going for an early pipe. Good idea by him. A lot of magic damage on the Dire team. Although I would be a little more worried about this DK more than anything, to be honest. See any more items progressing. Looks like Prophet does go in Midas. A Medallion. He can turn a really early Rosh off of this since the Treants can tank so well. And it's also a good ganking item just because all these heroes are pretty low armor heroes, to be honest. Yeah. Sorry, that was hard to click on. And Medallion also just helps farming in the jungle. Looks like he is going Treads. Coddle does pick up Tranquil Boots. Looks like he's going Bracer, but I wonder if he's going to turn into a drum. And DK is going probably for Helm of the Dominator in order to stack Ancients and just get his gold lead exponentially higher. Although I do like an early Armlet on him better personally. Just does so much damage. Looks like they're R5 top for the Radiant. It'd be interesting to see if they're looking to get a gank off here. They had a nice ward right here to search for anybody at the lane. I'm so sorry about this. When Lesh has only 2 points of Edict, this tower won't go down so fast, but they should be able to get it pretty easily if they're not paying attention on the Dire. And it looks like they're trying to give up this tower. I guess they're rationaling it that they can trade for tier 2 mid or tier 1 mid on the bat, and the DK is getting a lot of farm off it. And he does go for the Helm of the Dominator. Like to see him start stacking those creeps as soon as possible, since obviously the more stacks he can get earlier, it's so much better for him when he can get that massive gold lead that the Radiant might not be expecting. Although it looks like this is also an acceptable use for it, since he's just able to jungle a little faster with an additional creep, and the aura obviously increases his damage by a lot and gives him some nice crit. Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I'm thinking of Doom. Looks like Coddle does go down. Macropyre is dropped. Might be able to catch the Rubik. No, Rubik's going to be able to walk out. Rubik does take Blinding Light. Not as great a spell as you could get, but you take what you can get. And they do get the Coddle kill out of that. Looks like Mid should be going down to this bat. He could kill this Lesh pretty easily. I think he's got a 2-level advantage. No, he's got a 4-level advantage. He could have taken that, but whatever. He's better safe than sorry. And good on this DK to get the creep over here and start sacking. And Prophet's going to come in. They're going to push bottom together. In the meantime, Quap's looking for the Prophet in the jungle, trying to get some kills. Obviously, she doesn't have a lot of farms, so she's trying to supplement it as best she can with some ganks. Although Bat does have his Blink Dagger, and it'll be really hard for anybody to catch him now. And she really needs the ganks. Alright, excuse me. I should say, Quap really needs the ganks right now, and she's not going to be able to find them now that Bat has Blink Dagger, so he can get ganks a lot more easily than she can. Looks like she's just going to try and go on the Bat right now, but yeah, he's going to show his Blink. Interesting to see if Quap noticed it. Looks like she didn't, because she's still going in on this. Sven is mid. Yeah, see, good play by him. Go straight into the BKB. Really needs to be surviving in these fights more than doing damage, since he just naturally does so much damage. And they are going to try and go on the Bat. Looks like Quap's going to still dive, but that's a little too far for her, and she has to take tower hits for it. In the meantime, looks like Coddle is just trying to farm up top. Might be able to get some chip damage on the tower with DK here, who looks like he's going for a BKB. Another smart decision by him. He's one of those heroes who just does so much damage on his own that he just needs tankiness. See if any new item progression. Rubik's pretty strapped for cash. Quap's saving up a lot of gold. I don't know if she's going for an early sheep, but it looks like Bat does get a little over aggressive here, and the blinding light pushes them farther away than you'd like. Oh, but looks like, oh no, Quap walked into the macro pyre and will pay for that with her life. Did try and rear up the Sonic Wave, but isn't able to get anything. Nice port by Prophet. Should be able to catch out the Rubik. Yeah, he's going to catch out the Rubik easily, and we see that the Bat is able to catch up to the Sven. Although Sven might be able to get a repercussion kill. Yeah, a little late on the blinding light. I was just going to say he could have probably saved his friend, but they might be able to get this Celeste rack, but no, they're going to back off. They do take a 3-for-1 trade, though. Pretty good for them. And they should be able to get a tier 1 tower out of this mid. Meanwhile, DK is just farming the jungle. With this dragon form, he can do a lot of damage to the tower since the poison effect does affect towers, and since he does level up Dragon's Breath, yeah, just instantly push that creep wave. Oh, get that little creep. Get the creep. No, he's going to run back all alone. Sit alone for the next 20 minutes. Looks like the creep did die though for stacking. Unfortunate for DK. He needs to get another one there as soon as possible. Good play on him though, going back in the Dragon's Blood instead of running stun. You don't really get a lot of benefits from stun since you don't need that extra second on, or 0.75 seconds on stun, since it's more of a setup stun than anything else, and obviously the damage only increases by 75, so not as impressive as it could be. Sven's farm has tapped out, as you can see, and it looks like Prophet is just continuing to roll with his. Looks like G is working towards the mech on the Coddle and should be able to get that, yeah, within 700 gold. Looks like there's a foreman push top. Let's go look at that. DK's going for his BKB. Jakiro is just trying to ward up as best he can. And no new items in the other two heroes. Looks like Dirge is still trying to get his hood. Prophet's even, or excuse me, THD is even porting top to defend. And they have Prophet pushing bot, but he can come top whenever he needs to. Still, Sven is lurking on his BKB. Rubik managed to get his arc boots. Quap's got treads, nothing else, and Blesh is pretty strapped for cash, as we see. Dire team is going to walk by ward right now. Won't be able to really get this gank off. Although Bat is being really over aggressive. The rest of his team is way back here, and he's all the way over here. He's got to be careful. Sven's stun not in range. But they are committing 5 top once the TK decides to rotate over. And he did get another creep over here. I'm really impressed. You don't see this a lot in pubs. They often forget the Helm of the Dominator. You need to keep stacking all game, and he's been pretty proactive on this. Got at least 2 stacks, I should say. You generally want a range creep for this though, because as you can see, that Alpha Wolf just already took 50% health from 1 creep attack. So it would have been nice if he could get something tankier like an Ursa even, or Troll War where it's the best shot you have. So it looks like I don't like this play. Excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm just trying to still wake up. I don't like this play so much by the Radiant squad, I should say. They have 3 heroes here who are splitting XP, not getting a lot of farm, and not getting any kills when there's an open bottom lane and an open jungle right now. Oh, excuse me, an open jungle. So it's not as efficient farming as they could be doing, but I guess they're just trying to look for ganks, and this DK is kind of far out. Looks like Dragon's Breath was stolen. Rubik made a mistake there. He could have easily just picked up that DK and gotten that kill with the follow-up stun from Lesh. See if he goes to stack. Oh no, they're going in. Quap does pick up stun from DK and is getting lassoed right away, but Lesh gets the stun off on the Bat. Bat is able to chip down. Ooh, nice flame break to cancel the stun, and does that projectile The poison can't kill. We'll leave her at 1 HP. Unfortunately, nobody, or Lesh does go on the back end, but Quap does get away barely. Now, they might be able to get this Dirge right now. Looks like G is way overextending, but Prophet should be able to pour it in. Yeah, nice Ice Path, and they will be able to catch out the Dirge and the Rubik on the backside. Although, the Here Comes Sven is doing a lot of damage. Nice Sprout is able to get the Coddle, but he should be going down as well. Yeah. That Sprout really screwed him over, and then a Ice Path on top of that just prevented him from doing any damage. Kind of late reaction from him. He only came in once everybody else was dead, and tried to go a little too hard. And yeah, he's 3 and 4 right now. Not something you want in your hard carry, and he's really hurting for farm anyway. So this is just continuing to set him back. Dirge does get his hood though, pretty good for him. Going to be able to tank a lot of spell damage. Looks like Prophet's going for a Desolator. Great for pushing, especially against towers, since the armor reduction does hit the tower. Coddle should have his mech fairly soon. Yeah, 400 gold. He's getting pretty close. Bats just bought something. What's on the courier? Looks like he bought treads. Oh, he stayed on level 1 boots for a while. Okay, didn't notice that. Sven's still trying to get his BKB, and DK's getting pretty close to his BKB. He's only about 1,000 gold off from it. And once he hits level 6, oh, unfortunately, he did take level 2 dragon form. You generally don't even want to bother. You just get more levels in the stun at least, and wait for level 16, since the splash and slow of the blue dragon is more effective than the splash of the red dragon, especially since you lose the poison attack for towers from the red dragon or red to green dragon. Looks like they are able to get an engagement here. Nice stun by Leshrac, catches 3, and Dirge is coming in, but it looks like they're just going to back out. Weren't able to get the Leshrac or the Quap in that engagement. So it was a good stun by Leshrac. Once they started going on Quap, he just turned around and got 1 stun off, catching 3 heroes and saving his friends. Looks like Coddle is only 30 gold away. TK is going to try this attack, but Coddle's only 30 gold away from his attack, and once that happens, I feel like they can be a lot more aggressive when they're pushing, especially now that DK is about to get a massive gold boost. Yeah, look at that gold boost. This is going to be his BKB. In the meantime, Prophet's got his Desolator finished up, and he's going to just continue pushing. I don't like him pushing the safe lane because they kind of need the farm for the supports and for the DK. They need him in the safest spot possible. And there's going to be TPR action from the Dire team right now. But he could probably push the safe or the hard lane a little bit more effectively, get more farm, and leave the safe lane for the DK. Looks like did he pick up anything? No, he's just saving up for more items. Looks like DK is gonna. Oh, he's gonna get stunned by the. Stunned by the Sven. He should be able to get out of here. Nice stun, but that was really risky play by him. I'm not sure if he didn't see the Sven because the Sven was in the side shop, but he just kind of ran up to the creep wave and took a Stormhammer to the face. And he's really lucky that he got that stun off in time before one more auto attack even finished him off. Looks like Prophet is, yeah, he's going to be going for the early Rosh attempt. Like I said, the Treants do a great job. He could have just sprouted and made Treants there, but whatever. They're going to take a long journey. Looks like another Stormbolt is going to hit Bat in the face, but nothing important happening there. And instead, Prophet decides to go for the Ancients. I feel like they could really take that pretty early Rosh attempt. He could have taken advantage of that a little bit more. Looks like there is a 4-man push mid by the UMASS team while Sven is farming the jungle, but Coddle Wave should be enough to keep them back. A little disappointed he didn't buy his mech. He's got plenty of gold for it. Looks like Bat's going to try and rotate mid. Oh, never mind, this is Dire Ward. I was going to say they saw the Sven in the jungle, but no, they don't know he's here. It looks like he does have his BKB on the chicken, or is it just the hammer? No, full BKB. That's really good for him. He finally got it up. Looks like Prophet's going to just push out more lanes. Wonder what his next item choice is going to be. I would guess it's going to be like a Daedalus or a Maelstrom. He just seems to be going for a right-click Prophet. And they kind of need it. Coddle, Bat, and Jakiro aren't going to be doing any right-click damage. And once that pipe gets up, it's going to really shut down most of those heroes. Obviously, Bat's still effective because his lasso always takes one hero out of the fight. But still, they need the right-click on Prophet to supplement the DK. Looks like the Bat Illusion's just scouting things out. Quap looks like she's going for a Sheath Stick with that ultimate orb. Lesh is just trying to tank up, and the Dirge is trying to, yeah, he's almost got his pipe. Actually, he's got his pipe right now. If he chooses to buy out for it. Yeah, he does. Oh, it looks like, sorry, I did miss that. I thought that Sven wasn't going to go for it. But it looks like Prophet is trying to get a revenge kill on Sven since he is so low, but Sven should be able to get out of there scot-free. And Prophet actually might pay for this if Swap has her ult. Is she going to use it? No, she's not. I feel like she probably could have gotten away with it. Might have killed him. I didn't quite have the math on that, but you at least try it, I feel like. Better to try and get a high impact hero like Prophet out of the game, especially after he bought back, than to just save it and hope you can get that perfect 5-man Scream off. Or Sonic Wave off, I should say. Yeah. Looks like DK is going to take tier 1 top as consolation for that kill on the Infurion. And he's almost level 16, which is going to be pretty good for him. Looks like Bat does jump in, should be able to catch his Rubik Yao, especially with the stun as a follow-up. And Lush is out of position, but looks like he's going to be okay. Coddle Wave just pushes him back. It's not your time. Meanwhile, Quap does get the bottom tower as consolation for that. And yeah, they're going to move in. With that Rubik down, they should be going for a Rosh right about now. There you go. And again, Prophet can just solo this. Look how much armor Rosh already loses. Already in the 3 armor range. Well, DK can just continue farming top. And just see what item he goes next. So he's just buying a TP. Looks like Sven, yeah, Sven should be able to kill him if he pops God Strength. I'm a little surprised he's not going to. This is going to be an interesting man fight. But no, it looks like both sides back out, and Sven's just going to keep farming. Now this ward did see Prophet trying to do the Rosh, but I'm a little disappointed to not keep going for it, because he really, that gold advantage you build from Rosh, especially since DK's not going to stack, it's really important at all phases in the game, and this Aegis could be really nice if they give it to DK, and they're able to do a final 5-man death push mid. My apartment smells like fried chicken again. Anyway. Looks like Lesh is trying to go for the mech. Kind of unconventional pick for him. He kind of needs something more tanky than a mech, but since Dirge has the pipe, I guess they don't want to put it on him too. Looks like Bat does pick up a casual Vid booster. I don't think he's going to turn into a Vanguard. I don't think he needs to waste the money on that. He can get a Force Staff next or something and just keep the Vid booster as a casual item. Yeah, and there's the mech finally on the Coddle. He waited a little bit to buy that. Oh, well, proved me wrong, Bat. He does pick up the Vanguard at 26 minutes. Not really sure it's worth it, but he's got it. There's a 5-man push now by UMASS. They're trying to get this tier 1 mid. Should be able to get it pretty easily, even with Coddle Wave. Looks like Coddle is going to try and recall into DK, I think. It'll be interesting to see if UMASS can push for 2, and looks like they are. But they're going to take a wave to the face, yeah. Looks like DK is still going to farm top, and I wonder what he's going to buy next. He probably should either buy that item or push mid now, because I don't think it benefits them to keep waiting. They have this massive advantage, as we can see. Yeah, look at that advantage in just XP alone in gold. They should really be pressing this instead of just farming up more. And looks like UMASS is going to try and push for tier 2. Nice zombie house in a good position, but looks like they're going to get caught out of position. Nice BKB by DK will be able to take out. Oh no, it doesn't get the spend before the fight ends. So it looks like the Lesh and the Dirge go down instantly, and as well as the Rubik. And ooh, this is a bad fight. Wow, I can't believe it went that one-sided. They popped everything to die for that. Looks like Bat is going to be able to flame break, but it's not going to catch the Quab. And she is going to blink out. They should be able to take Rosh right out of this though. Oh, it looks like, yeah, Prophet's going to try and get it, but she's already poured it out. They should really try and get Rosh off of this after they lost the tier 1 and took some chip damage on tier 2. But yeah, that's just a classic overextension by UMASS. They just thought they could do a lot with that Dirge zombie house, and they probably weren't expecting the DK to have poured it in right there. And yeah, as we saw, his BKB went up, and he couldn't get killed. Looks like they're gonna, I don't really agree with that, giving the Aegis to the Prophet, especially since he can just buy back and come into the fight so easily. Looks like they're just gonna go back to farm off this as they see Lesh's defending bot pretty easily. So looking at items, we do see nothing new. Trying to see if there's anything new. Looks like Jakiro is trying to go for a Force Staff. DK's going for a heart. I really like that. You already have so much armor as it is from Dragon's Blood. He's already sitting on 28 armor, but he kind of just, and even though he is a strength hero, it's just heart gives him more DPS and more DPS and more health that he can just supplement that with armor. And he already does so much damage at level 16 with Frost Splash damage especially, that he doesn't need to build a lot of damage items. So yeah, things are pretty quiet now. Looks like UMASS is trying to defend mid, while Pitt's just kind of hanging around, not really doing anything. Kato's just spamming out some waves. So exciting. Looks like DK is going to push bot. UMASS might have a chance to jump in mid. There's only 3 heroes here, but I guess they don't want to yet. A little disappointed how passive this Quap has been. She really could try and get a lot more solo kills, but then again, she's only level 13, and she's definitely hurting for levels. Just looking at the chart, we see, or not the chart, we just see Lesh is level 8. Actually, I can just go hero level, sorry. Yeah, you just see this massive damage. Even on the supports for the Dire team, they're just so ahead right now. Bat does pick up a double damage rune. Again, Bat too, I feel like can be a lot more aggressive right now. Like if they see this Lesh stun, they should go in on it right away. Yeah, and they are. Oh no, that's orange pinging for it. It's like Dirge is trying to pick up a point boost. So it looks like he's going Ags. He could go Bloodstone, but I feel like Bloodstone's way too late at this point, and Dirge already has enough mana regen as it is from the Leshrac mana boots and the. Sorry, Leshrac already do boots, but there are mana boots on the Rubik who can support him pretty well, I think. But look, we see a bit more smoke ganks from both teams right now. They're playing really passive, not really trying to gank at all, just reacting when the other team reacts. It does look like Connell picks up his Force Staff before the THD. But yeah, if they got a smoke gank bot, they could pretty easily get 2 kills right now, for example. And Prophet doesn't even need to be there, and Connell can always just recall in the DK if he needs to. Yeah, things are just quieting down. Again, these supports really aren't going to get any items, although Lesh is trying to get his mech. I really do prefer a BKB and Ags on Lesh, because the BKB A gives him health and the magic immunity he needs to run in there, and the Ags obviously gives him more HP, and it really supplements his ult. Oh, sorry, I guess DK was able to get a port in by Prophet, and they were able to pick up that Sven pretty easily as Heart is finished for the DK. And yeah, looks like G signaling off that kill. They can just put a 5-man push mid. Although I believe Sven does have buyback. Yeah, does pick up a Mask of Madness because he drastically needs some TPS right now. And Mask of Madness, it's obviously, since he's the only one getting focused, it's really double-edged sword. Since he's gonna get popped really easily, but he just needs some quick DPS, and there's no other item that gives it quite as effectively for as cheap a cost. Looks like they are going to try and split push. DK and Prophet are going to push top. Looks like they do get a stun off on the Dirge. Nice stun does get 2. Looks like Prophet's taking the tower and will go down here. Yeah, Sonic Wave on top of that even. But it looks like the rest of Pitt is coming up from behind. Nice blinding light, and they are going to catch out the Dirge in the Firefly, and the Lasso will go down here. It does drop the Zombie House in time, good for him. The Dual Breath does pick up the Leshrac in the end, though. G is able to Force Staff himself away from the Quap. Quap will blink after him, but one more Deafening Blast should be able to touch the team catch up. THD does go down the backside, but Quap is out of mana. G needs to be really careful, though, because he can die to auto attacks right here. Looks like Bat is able to pick up the Rubik on the attack end, and they will get a tower out of this. Sven stun does go out, he does catch the Bat, and he will be able to pop his ult. Looks like he is getting a little bit kited here, but he should be able to get the Prophet. Do they have any way to see him inside there? No, they do not. Quap messes up the blink, isn't able to get inside this route. So it looks like Jakira is the only one to go down there as a consolation prize. Interesting, DK's only died once. He hasn't got as many kills as I'd want, but it's a pretty good job by him just getting up his farm quietly and not fucking up and dying. That's pretty much it. A little disappointed at Prophet's farm. I'd like to see somewhere around 800 GPM at this point. But I guess he's being a good person, letting the rest of his team farm and not using his ult just to rice. Looks like we'll be going for Sheepstick next. Very good decision. They don't have as many pure lockdowns on this team as they would like. They have Bat ult, which is obviously an ultimate and kind of locks down the Bat as well. DK stun isn't as reliable and it's not that great a stun, and THD stun is really the only reliable quote-unquote stun they have. So Sheep Stick's always nice. And it will help against those mobility heroes once they get out of the stuns, like Quap. If they can just keep Quap sheeped, they should be doing pretty well. I believe Prophet did lose the Aegis. Yeah, Prophet did lose the Aegis, so he's not in danger of losing that 6-minute Aegis reclaim. Looks like there are 3 heroes mid with 2 in the jungle for UMASS. Looks like they're going to try and make something happen. I don't think they can just sit here and farm the rest of the game. They need to start doing something important, especially since they should know how far behind they are. Speaking of which, yeah, 25,000 experience behind and almost 20,000 gold behind. It's going to be pretty hard for UMass to get back from this, but I don't know, stranger things have happened. Looks like G is going to catch out the Quap, but there's not a lot he can do on his own. And it looks like there is going to be a 5-man push mid by the Dire team. I'd like to see Bat Bink in and try and get the Dirge, but no, he's going to be a little more passive. Looks like Rubik did steal, come on, did stick Firefly, or excuse me, Flame Break. Very good spell for pushing people off towers. And it looks like this tower will go down. Chinchillix doesn't have a port. Yeah, he's just buying it now, and Sven will be porting soon. And he does have God Strength and his BKB up. But it looks like, yeah, they're just going to go up the tier 2 tower, and he's going to try and trade for a tier 2 top, or bot. But it looks like Pitt is just going to rotate bot and very easily get this tower. Oh no, it looks like they're all just going to back off. And yeah, Sven ports out. This Bat's being really aggressive. I don't know. He can't obviously solo this tower, and he could have expected the rest of the Radiant team to be sitting there waiting for him, but I guess it worked out for him. Looking at item progression again, Lesh still hasn't have his mech. He's been really hurting for farm this entire game. Rubik's trying to get up his 4-staff. Quap does finally finish her sheep as her only item. Really disappointed in her farm right now. Dirge still sitting on that point booster. Coddle picks up his Boots of Travel 4-staff and looks like he's getting a Vlad's. Really, Vlad's is such a great item. Even though you might think, oh, it only affects melee hero, and the only melee hero they have is DK, it also gives a constant mana regen and 5 armor to the entire team, which is just always a good thing. Looks like we're going to have a little 4-man gank by the Radiant, but they don't have any smoke, so I'm not quite sure how they thought they were going to get there without being seen. Looks like Prophet does finish the sheep. Yeah. Bat finishes his 4-staff in addition to his blink. Jakiro finally finishes 4-staff, gets a Void Stone for some mana regen, probably going for a sheep stick, and DK is working on his next item, which I'm guessing it's going to be, oh no, it's on the chicken. He looks like he got a Demon's Edge. No, he got a Reaver. He's going for Satanic. Interesting. I don't really think he needs that. He's tanky enough as it is on the Heart, and Satanic's kind of one of those last items you get after you have enough damage to support it, because you need the Satanic, since it's percentage-based lifesteal. The higher crits you get, obviously, the more damage you're gonna lifesteal back. And it looks like they're not keeping a Rosh timer. They didn't quite know when it's up, but it will be up in a minute. But you kind of need the crit item for Satanic to be worth it, because you need a lot of damage for the Satanic to pay itself back in the lifesteal you get. More so than the Helm of the Dominator, I should say. And I just don't see how this team is going to kill the DK anyway. He's already sitting on top of, 27 armor on top of the mech when it's popped, which is what, plus 2 to the 5, so he's got 7 more, plus the plus the bats will give him 5 more, so he'll be sitting somewhere around 30 armor, or excuse me, 35 armor once all is said and done. It looks like they're just going to 5-man push spot tower, wait for Rosh to get up, and then go try and take that and win the game, I'd assume. I believe this is no, this is only the second Rosh of the game. Should be the third, but they weren't taking advantage of that. Looks like the Radiant team is just trying to set up a defense. I don't really think they can defend this that well, especially since Sven is top lane, although Prophet's sitting at the secret shop, probably bought a Hyperstone. He's going AC, it looks like. Yeah, so that's going to give DK even more armor. I'm going to be honest, I don't know how the hell DK's ever going to die. But we'll see if Radiant can turn it off. They might look for a dire overextension into their fountain or something like that and just turn the game around from there. But it looks like Sven is going to try and trade for top tower. Does he have a TP? Yeah, he has a TP, so he should be coming back around now. Looks like they're not going to turn around for Ross. They're just going to smell blood in the water and go for it. Which I like. They should have been pressing their advantage a long time ago. Ooh, they are able to force staff the Dirge out of position and get him out. Oh my god. Nice force staff. They noticed his position was off and they just took advantage of that. They are able to lasso onto the Quap. Unfortunately, they sheeped on top of that too. But it looks like she won't go down. Sven, oh, look at that Sven cleave. Is able to take out Jakiro and Prophet off a couple attacks. And wow, this DK is going down. Is able to, no, he won't get the Quap. Come on, G, one more attack. Oh no, he's not able to get the kill. Looks like G is with the wave able to pick off the... Oh wow, he gets Leshrac and Rubik off the end. And looks like Sven is chasing him. Will have enough for Stormbolt in 8 seconds. And Warcry will obviously give him more than enough move speed to catch up. I really wish DK would buy back right now, but oh, he doesn't have it. He bought out to get that Reaver. Yeah, and looks like Chin will be able to get that kill on the Connell and should be able to turn around on this bat as well. Oh no, it looks like the Firefly will be able to stop him, and he does have stick charges. I hope he remembers them. Yeah, he does. He does have his Crystallis up, but he's going to go down here. I think he should have just tried and stayed and killed that bat instead of waiting for him to get the mana to use Firefly. But that was what I was saying. They just overextended a lot. They looked like they had a good fight, but they used so much to get the Quap and didn't end up killing her that they left themselves open for Sven to just run in and start right-clicking them. And so all that focus they put on the Quap was wasted because they couldn't get it onto the because they couldn't kill her and then focus the Sven. So that's what I was saying. Even though that DK looks really scary, Sven has quietly been getting his items up, and with that crit stick, he just does a lot of damage if you're not paying attention to him. And with that BKB, he's almost untouchable. Which I want to point out was a bit of a waste from the bat, because not only did he lasso, he also used the sheep on top of it. So they wasted, or excuse me, I should say Prophet used the sheep on top of it, and it was just really waste. But it looks like Prophet is able to get a conciliatory Rosh out of this, especially since the Radiant doesn't have a ward up to see this coming. Looks like Coddle's going to just spam out some waves trying to defend mid. Oh, well, it looks like Prophet DCs what he's trying to do Rosh. That's unfortunate. They might smell something in the water there. It looks like they're just going to defend here. Looking at the gold graph out of that, we see a minor bump up. Radiant's still pretty far beside, or next far behind. I'm sorry. Looks like, yeah. I mean, you see this little advantage. They took a nice fight, and the Sven was able to get a couple kills, get some nice farm, but it's not enough to turn it quite yet. They need to take a couple of those like now. Yeah, it looks like Leshrac was able to finish his mech up real quick before they unpause. Jakiro, or excuse me, Rubik's still working on his 4 staff. Again, these supports are so underleveled, only level 12. At least Jakiro is level 13 and Coddle's almost level 16. Quap is looking like a 4 staff or a Dagon off that. I'm not quite sure. Ralph doesn't have any new items. Coddle finishes Vlad's. Prophet's still going AC. Or he could go Mjolnir, but I'd expect AC. It's just more beneficial to the team. Bat's going sheep. Jakiro is probably saving up for sheep, and Dragon Knight's just waiting for his satanic. Oops. What was that in chat? Such a tease. Oh, so you reconnect in DC right away. Well, that's unfortunate. I guess Pitt internet isn't up to snuff. So yeah, I'm just gonna tab out while nothing's happening. Yeah, that kill was worth it. Traded himself for a Coddle kill. Fuck you, old man. Yeah, Connell's pretty decrepit. I always wonder, is that... Now, I know the horse is white, and I know horse color doesn't necessarily mean age, but I wonder how old that horse is. Because I would feel bad if you have this wretched old man just beating this poor old horse. I can't let that go. I can't let them just root the Steelers. Come on. New England sticks together. Again, nothing's really happening. God dogs. Oh god, is he gonna... Oh god, Dogfucker Esports. So yeah, I guess I'll do a little predicting because it doesn't help for me to say nothing all this game. I mean, that fight was nice, but I don't think it was enough to turn it. And if they get this DC, or excuse me, if they get these God damn it, if they get this Rosh, I should say, they should be able to just do the same thing but push mid, because that last fight they pushed when they should have turned around to get the Aegis, and they pushed the wrong, or I shouldn't say they pushed, they focused the wrong hero and stacked stuns. So and they should be able to just push mid again. Although they didn't get a lot of chip damage, but I mean all these waves are pushed in. This is a massive group wave behind it. Mid's getting pushed in, and bot's obviously still pushed in. So we'll see what happens. Can only talk so much though. I'll let you read the chat, I guess. Again, this is round 2 of the Collegiate Dota League. Who I guess I should do shoutouts. You should follow at twitter.com/Collegiate Dota, facebook.com/Collegiate Dota. Our YouTube channel, which you're probably gonna watch this at because I'm not streaming, is youtube.com/Collegiate Dota. Sorry. Make sure you follow, subscribe, like, thumbs up. I don't know. Donate money to me personally. Cough, cough. But no, the game's resumed again, and it looks like Prophet's going to just keep trying to take Rosh. Although he does step out of the pit. Steps out of the pit from Pitt. I really think all 5 of them should just go get Rosh at this point. This is really silly that they've wasted 10 minutes not getting this Roshan. Yeah, okay, that makes a little more sense now. Prophet's just going to push bot, push out the wave while the rest of the team gets Roshan, and then they'll rotate to join him. So pretty smart play. Looks like we are having Lesh going to try and just defend mid, or excuse me, defend top. Does have his mech, gives him a little armor, but I mean he needs something a little more tanky than that if he's going to survive. And yeah, it looks like they're all going to rotate bot, except for this. You silly bat, you need to follow your team. Yeah, there they go. They're just going to gear up for a 5-man push mid, or 5-man push bot. Excuse me. Looks like Chinchillax did finish his Daedalus and is just continuing to put farm up the Ancients. Needs to oh no, he doesn't have a teleport scroll. He needs to run back as fast as possible before they're able to. Pitt is able to get positioned on the high ground here. Looks like Dirge still doesn't have any items besides the pipe. It looks like I wonder what he's going to go for next. If it's going to be that point booster, he's going to go into an Ags or a Bloodstone. I think DK got that heart right. Oh yeah, he has a Satanic. Does have his. Ooh, they're overextending a lot here. Didn't get able to get his PKB, and he does get chipped. Oh wow! Oh my God, that Sven crit just absolutely melted DK. Wow. Bat does a good job of pulling Sven out, but Sven's just going to turn around and go after the Coddle. DK is back up. Bat is really low, though. Nobody died on the side of the Radiant, and it looks like Sven is going to turn around and just start wailing on this Prophet. Bat does go down, and so will Prophet. Wow, this is a major overextension. DK's also got to be careful. They could turn around and kill him, too. Oh, Quamp needs to scream. Yeah, oh no. She did it a little too late. DK is back up. He still has his BKB up, but I'm not. He used his Dragon form there, and I'm not sure if he can win this. Oh wow, that's a nice Dragon's Breath, and he might be able to kill the Sven, but it looks like Coddle is a little far back. Needs to pop his ult instead. It's a little bit of a mistake on his part to sit there charging. It looks like the Quap is out of mana and go down, so she overextended a bit too much too, and they are able to get bot tower out of that. It was actually a pretty big mistake for DK. Instead of just hitting the tower, he decided to go all the way over here without popping his BKB. Just overextended so much and got caught out by the sheep stick, and then they continued to chain stuns on him, and he went down instantly. But again, oh no, not another DC. They are able to get the tower, and I guess they're just going to keep doing this for the next 20 minutes. Alright, so now we have another pause. Again, follow all our sites. It's pretty much every social media site if you just do a Collegiate Dota right after. This is Winner's Bracket round 2. I believe there's 5 rounds total, but there's also a Loser's Bracket. Winner's Bracket finals are the best of 3 series, and this is game 2 out of 3. Won't tell you who won the first game because that's a spoiler if you're still watching this long. I just need to take a drink of water, excuse me. Yeah, and the winner of this will obviously advance, and the loser will be knocked down to the loser's bracket. So, don't fret, UMASS or Pitt, you might see these teams again one day. It looks like Undying will be going for his Ags. Any new items? Looks like Quap's trying to go for an Ags as well, but it's a little late for that. I think she needs like a right-clicking item, like maybe a crit item, maybe a Maelstrom. Maelstrom is really underrated for team fights, just because that lightning damage going through everybody is just gonna wreak havoc. Especially, well, I guess Pepper Charm remembers. I guess Prophet trees will soak a bit of that, and if it's in a creep wave, it will soak a bit of that. But still, I like it, and I feel like there's a certain point where Quap spells just tap out at this point. Although I'm not sure, there's no pipe for the Dire, or excuse me, the Radiant team. Yeah, there's no pipe, so they won't be able to. Her spells will be still doing a pretty decent amount, but I don't know. I don't think she needs to be building into her spells anymore. She needs to be building into right clicks where she can actually improve that. I'm really shocked at how squishy this DK is, but then again, that's what you get for going Satanic. It's just really not as great an item to keep yourself alive if you don't have a DPS item behind it. Again, not a lot to talk about. These teams are playing pretty passively, except for that overextension. They're probably just going to go back to farm. I don't expect they're going to wait for the next Rosh attempt. That's just 8 minutes away, and I don't want to sit here for 8 minutes. So, little biased. Sorry. It's not true, but whatever. That's a good joke. Oh, you. Well, it's time for the memes. Again, looking at the levels, we see that the Spores are massively underfarmed in this game. Even the Dirge. The Dirge should be a lot higher level, considering how many team fights he is in. But I guess he just stopped trying to farm and just kept trying to get team fights. And since they didn't go so well for UMASS Amherst, he just kind of came out on the short end of the stick. Okay. Yeah. No, G and Chillax are my teammates on. This is Montesquieu and the Capulets, kind of, or not Montesquieu. Sorry. Fuck, I already fucked that up. What is it? I always think of the Romulans and the Capulets because that's a 30 Rock joke, but I don't know. It'll come to me. You know, if anybody watched Romeo and Juliet, you'll know. I'm gonna have to probably edit this video since these pauses are ridiculous. Hi, Ben. We have Ben, yeah. Shout out to Ben. Sorry, I can't really be informative. I'm gonna probably just suggest people skip over. I'm gonna probably put in the annotations when to skip over. Because this is really ridiculous. I probably should have just have an overlay or something for this kind of situation, but I have nothing. So, in the meantime, I've got nothing to do right now. I wish I had something to talk about. I'm just gonna go AFK now, pretty much. Yeah, note to self, I just need to add in the annotation to skip over this part. I wish this guy would reconnect. Definitely need to add an annotation to this about skipping over. Well, this is going to be interesting. Looks like we have a 4v5. Welcome back. Yeah, it looks like the Pitt player on Prophet has DC'd, so they'll be trying to win this 4v5. See if they're able to. Right now, they are trying to micro the Prophet. Honestly, yeah, at this point, they should just... No, I don't agree with this. I don't think they should leave the bat behind. I think they need to leave the THD behind. And, yeah, I'm not sure if they need to farm up right now. They need to... I think they need to end this before they get more farm on the Radiant side, since it's just gonna keep getting worse for them if they have to go 4v5. It's gonna get worse and worse and worse. But I guess they're kind of micro every hero. I wonder if this guy is a StarCraft player, since I know most Dota players are really frightened of micro, especially heroes like Chen, for example. They get absolutely terrified. They have to play a Chen. But hopefully, maybe in the time they're buying right now, they'll be able to get the Prophet back. And honestly, at this point, I feel like they can just send him into the fight, pop his ult, sheep, and then leave him to die. And it shouldn't be too bad for them. Hopefully he doesn't auto-attack creeps, though. So anyway, I think Pitt's just going to try and make a death push mid right now and end it. Because I think they realize they probably have lost this game now. That they don't have Prophet, so... Their options are they're going to either wait for the next Roshan attempt, or they're just going to keep trying to micro this Prophet while they 4-man push a lane. Which I think could work if they just... But the problem is, I guess DK's really scared right now since he's died, and they think he's picking up a Blade Mail? No, he's getting a crit stick. Okay. That's good. He needs items. He needs DPS items. Since he's only doing 280 damage, and the Sven alone is doing 250 without God Strength on. So, and that's not including crits. So it's kind of frightening, to be honest. It's like this ward is going to run out. I like to say I'm pretty impressed at the warding that both sides have kept up with. Obviously, it's not been perfect, but it's nice to see supports who forego their big items for wards. Man, Prophet's so good to push. Looks like the Sven is able to go back to base. Does have 3.3k. Interesting to see what he'll buy next. Probably an AC or something, because he does need the armor. Maybe go a heart. Again, he's really susceptible, especially now that his BKB is only 5 seconds, and you can't sell it anymore. So he's sitting on a ticking time bomb there. Looks like G is just putting up wards. Very important at this point in the game, since it is a 4v5. They need to know where the enemy team is at all times, or they're at risk of dying instantly. Cheeky little move here to ward the jungle, so that once the Radiant team goes in to ward the jungle, or excuse me, to do jungle camps, they'll be blocked for the next 6 minutes, and that can really hurt at this stage of the game where every inch of farm is precious. G's being really aggressive here, especially since they have a ward to see him. They might be able to pick him up. No, he's able to force up and teleport out. They have to be careful there, and if Radiant is paying attention, they should have seen him be warded up there. So. One good thing about this Rubik is he's been leveling Null Field over Telekinesis, which is good, because I don't feel like his stun is more effective on... I mean, I don't think it scales really well. Obviously, yes, you get a longer stun duration on both the lift and the drop, but I feel like Spell Shield is just such a massively powerful spell that people underestimate what 20% spell resistance can do on... Oh. He warded here too. Interesting. On top of the fact that they have a pipe, it's just, yeah, it should be in sentry range now. But on top of the fact that they have a pipe, it's just it's gonna be really hard for any of the spell damage to take it back. Because I mean, the Dirge alone will have like, yeah, he'll roughly 55, I think, magic resistance, since it's not 20 stack, it's multiplicative. So I think it's pretty good to have a Null Field over stun. And he did take Chakra Magic, which is pretty good. Obviously, you can just spam Fade Bolt more. I would really like to see UMASS get a smoke at this point and just try and win the game, since they know they have the advantage, and they have to hope that the Prophet doesn't reconnect. But it'll be interesting. I guess DK is just going to Keep farming, try and get up a crit, Daedalus over the crit stick. And, yeah, that's the problem with this Prophet sitting here farming the lane, is that DK's not going to get the farm. And they're still trying to micro him to get farm. If I'm not mistaken, you can't get gold from disconnected players. They won't, I think, I'm not quite sure how it works. I think they still get gold, but let's see. Yeah, he still gets gold. But I'm not sure if the communal pot gets gold. This bat has to be really careful since they are ganking. Yeah, they're all staying in the jungle, and the bat saw this. What is the bat doing? Oh no, this was a horrible pick-off. He saw them with the ward, and he still walked in there. Maybe he was trying to micro the Furion and wasn't paying attention to his hero, but that's really bad. And UMASS might be able to take advantage of this since bat does have buyback, though. But he would rather save it for the sheep, obviously. Or Shiva. Shiva's is always good on bat. Looks like Kato is able to delay this push by a lot, just keep waving, but it looks like we are going to have a blink up by the Quap. Should be using her Scream right now, because she does have Ags. Oh, and it will miss. That's unfortunate, she should have led with it, since she knew that they both had 4 staffs. But, oh well. Are able to mana leak and got a good push going in top. Bot's not really pushed, but they're going to try and 4-man push mid as Chinchillax is forced to respawn top with the Prophet always pushing in. He does pick up a Hyperstone, that's good. He's probably going to go for the AC, which I'm a little surprised. No, well, I guess Prophet was trying to work for it, but one thing you can do is you can just load up Prophet with aura items. So get him his AC, get him a couple of, well, the Vlad's already taken, but you know, just items that you don't need to actually be there for. Oh, now this is cheeky. They're gonna treat the Prophet like a Helm of the Dominator creep and just stack the Ancients for DK. It's cute. Looks like G will find an Invis rune. And not a lot of sentries up right now, so he could have a free walk of the map right now, especially since there are very limited wards. Excuse me, very limited wards for the Dire, or Radiant, I should say. Excuse me. And he is going to spot out the enemy team. He does have a gem though, but the enemy team doesn't. I'm just going to call him that, so I don't. Looks like Sven does finishes AC and does have enough for buyback still. I wonder if they're going to react to this. Yeah, Rosh is almost up in a minute, so smart on UMass to keep an eye on it. And they should be able to get a tier 2, get a good position into the Rosh pit, and then just try and take him from there. Although we do see the Dire is set up around the area, and we do see that the DK did get his Daedalus. And Coddle's wave has been stolen by Rubik. Excuse me, just trying to stretch there, took my hand off the mouse. And looks like they're not going to try for Rosh. They're going to see if they can't push mid, get something happening. It's going to be really risky though, because even though it is a 4v5, if they just get one sheep off, they can just chain stuns long enough to make a living hell. And no, it looks like they're going to try and push bot in the meantime. Dirge does have his Ags if he wants to pick it up, but he probably should save for buyback. And it looks like, yeah, they're going to try and transition for push bot, but I don't think... Nope, there is going to be a chain stun right now. They did stack the stuns a little bit. It's too bad. 5-second stun, excuse me, by BKB is going to get the DK down in time. No, he's still running. He will go down in the end. Quap does get a double kill. Picks up the THD as well. And there's a buyback by the Coddle. He died in that fight as well. Looks like Sven is able to get a stun out on the bat and will just chew up the Prophet. Ooh, 1500 crit, and the cleave alone will kill the bat. And yeah, unfortunately, this is looking like GG. I think they'll be able to get this tier 3 tower. And yeah, the Sven is tanky enough to be able to support, excuse me, to tank the tower. And yeah, this is looking like game. They should be able to get the racks out of this. Coddle's trying his best, but he's going to get sheeped and yeah, picked up. Lasso, no lasso by the bat. He was stunned by the Rubik drop. Coddle is able to get out of there, but it looks like Quap will be pretty low. Oh, she's actually going to live. Yeah, and Mech by G will be able to save himself from her Scream, or excuse me, Sonic Wave. But I think UMass should just turn around and get the racks. Don't waste time. Don't wait for that DK to get up. So unfortunate for Pitt that their player DC'd. It seems like that's what lost in this game. They could have possibly been counter pushing at the time, but I guess it's not over yet. I shouldn't call it yet. They're still defending. Still able to get some Coddle waves going, but it's looking pretty dire. Ice Path does clip the Rubik. Is able to get him out of position. And Macropie is a little off the money, but it looks like Chinchillax is standing in it. This pop is BKB, and ooh, nice force staff. This BKB is gonna run out. Yeah, it ran out instantly, and the bat does pick him up with with lasso. Chinchillax will live through that. Sven is out of mana though, so they could just keep right clicking him down. I feel like, especially with liquid fire. Oh, it looks like Rubik did steal Firefly from Bat, and the Rax is still standing. They are going to pick off this Leshrac, get the gem, might be able to get the Sturge, yeah, good stun from the Dragon Tail range, and they might be able to bring down the Sturge, yeah, with the supporting from Prophet, they'll be able to get this kill. And they do get a lot of chip damage on this tower. I'd like to see them just do a 5-man push mid right now, because they know Sven is running for his life and is low, and they need to make something happen. They took that fight really badly. Although actually Rosh is up, so they might be able to sneak in a Rosh real quick. Yeah, they're going to do that. I did not notice him being out. Unfortunately, Coddle has to go back to defend, but DK has more than enough to solo Rosh right now. Obviously, Prophet's minus armor would be really helpful, but we'll see. So right now UMASS is just trying to get their bearings back. I feel like they stayed to get kills a little bit more. They should have just turned and got the racks instantly and got out. But unfortunate. But looks like they're gonna pay for that. Looks like G does go for a crisp stick. There's a cheese down. I'm not quite sure they're gonna give it to. I guess Prophet's gonna. Oh no, they're gonna leave it. I don't know what they're doing. They need to drop. They didn't have Prophet drop his Midas, pick it up, and then give it to G. Oh no, looks like he's gonna just drop his Racer and go pick it up. So I'm not sure who they should be giving this cheese to. Probably the Bat. I feel like the Bat's most important right now after the Dragon Knight. But we'll see. DK does have his Aegis and is sitting on 30 armor without even the AC. I don't quite know how the gold works again for the DC hero, but the Nature's Prophet is sitting on 8k. Oh, it looks like Bat is going to get a pick on the Quap. Looks like they should have some follow-up. They need to get the sheep stick down now. It looks like the zombie house does go down, and they are running into it. Unfortunately, Prophet is being mismicroed, but still, the Macropire is there, and Firefly on top of it. It's kind of hard to see, but both fire are doing a lot of damage. So unfortunately, they didn't actually get anything out of that, and it looks like Sven is just going to push top. Does he have a TP? Yes, he does. He should be able to come back and defend mid. And I feel like, I wonder what Pitt's going to do here. I think they're just going to go for it, to be honest. Now interested to see 5-second BKB on both the Sven and the Dragon Knight, so they got to make sure they get as much DPS in as short time as possible. Good deafening, blinding light, but the BKB out of it. DK needs to pop his BKB now while he's still alive. Yeah, okay, Quap is going to take down two heroes, and it looks like, yeah, I think once Sven catches up, this Coddle is pretty dead. Yeah, he's going to get blocked in here. Yep, and DK lives on the backside, is trying to take out a hero, but he can't take out anybody. His BKB is still up, a little bit of a mistake on his part, but he does have the Aegis, so I guess he was trying to save that. Yeah. He does pop the BKB, but this is looking pretty dire. I'm not quite sure if he can take on a 1v5. Yeah, no, it was sheep stick, and they're just going to chain stun to death. Although Jakiro does get a stun on, but he's gonna go down. Yeah, Coddle buys back, but I mean, I think they can just make a death push mid by UMass. Does DK have buyback? Yeah, no, he doesn't. Wow, that's a mistake on his part. Was not calculating his gold correctly. And it looks like they're just gonna make a death push mid. A lot of back and forth in these pushes, but again, if they couldn't buy that AC on Prophet, that's a real shame because they needed that AC up. Gem's still here actually, and yeah, Dirge picks it back up. Does finish his Ags, by the way. And Quap's going for, looks like, either a Refresher or Orchid. Yeah, they got their mid racks and they're just gonna push top. Although Quap is taking a lot of damage, and Bat does manage to crash out the Sven, and he will go down very easily here. Oh my god, he bought a Rapier. Wow, the Sven bought a Rapier. If the DK sees that Rapier, yes he does. Wow, this could turn things around. Wow, I can't believe that Sven was so ballsy to buy a Rapier. I'm not quite sure if he had that last fight. I think he just bought it. He just bought it before that fight. That was a huge, before that Rax. That's a huge mistake on his part. I can't believe he did that. Wow, this could turn the fight around. The Pitt is down 2 racks, but with the DK doing 600 damage, yeah, they might just say fuck it and go for mid. Yeah, they're gonna port in prop to try and get this mid lane carried out so that they can just follow the creep wave in. Yeah, and they might just go for throne here. It's gonna be pretty tough since I really hate that they don't have the AC, but ooh, looks like Lesh is gonna come in for a stun, but I'm not sure what else he can do here. I think they're just gonna be able to push mid, and this could be that could be a lot of throw Dota if he just threw away that rapier and they lose the game off of it. We'll see. DK has 4k health and 30 armor, so it's really disappointing that they didn't get a pipe this game because I mean they have all of Lesh, all of Rubik, all of Quap, all of Undying spells to worry about, and they just didn't bother blanking a pipe. Good that Rubik stole. Oh, nice Ice Path does catch 3, even though Rubik does manage to steal light or illuminate. Chin is still doing a lot of damage, but oh my god, look at him melt. That Sven is melt. Oh my god, that Sven might go down. Is he gonna go down? This DK gonna be able to pop his BKB? No, he doesn't get his BKB off. He's gonna go down instead. Oh my god, and Rapier drops again. I don't know why he didn't pop his Satanic or even his BKB. That was a huge mistake on his part. And it looks like Chinchillax is gonna get the Rapier back, and they're gonna make their final death push mid. Although they should probably just thrown it at this point. I think they wasted enough time. But going to farm. Lesh gets his bloodstone. They're not gonna finish the game. Why won't you finish the game? I guess they're gonna just try and push in top and get mega creeps and then not have to worry about anything else. But yeah, this game, that DK threw even harder than the Sven, because even though the Sven got caught out of position with the rapier, that DK had a Satanic and a BKB to use, and he didn't use either. Look at that, 1500 crit. Please away. So unfortunate that the Prophet did throw DC, and this might be a game for Pitt because I'm not sure if they're gonna get another stand-in. But yeah, it looks like this is gonna be it. Pitt manages to lose this game. UMass wins, I should say, and this is game 2. So it looks like we're gonna be going on to the next game, game 3. I guess that kind of spoils who won, but yeah, good game by both teams, and that's it for this VOD. Thanks for watching.